Delegates and guests, please welcome Toni Atkins, Senate President Pro Tem, District 39.
Good afternoon, California Democrats. I want to thank you all for being here during Memorial Day weekend, a time to honor our veterans and those we've lost. They fought for the freedoms we uphold as we gather here today, committed to protecting our collective power. And speaking of commitment, I want to thank our party chair, Rusty Hicks, and his hardworking staff for making this convention happen. They deserve a big round of applause. As you know, we're here this weekend to reorganize, but we're also here to honor one of the most effective political leaders that this state and this country has ever seen, the unstoppable Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. And like me, she is so proud of your tireless work and dedication. It's what propelled us to landmark victories across the board against all odds in 2022. In the California Senate alone, we flipped 2 new seats from red to blue, making the Senate Democratic Caucus at 32 the largest and strongest it has ever been. And we Democrats know that there is strength in numbers, we know that there is strength in our diversity, and we know that there's strength in our fight. So I want to talk to you today about what that fight means to me. When the Supreme Court overturned Roe, we vowed to protect our rights in California. I immediately introduced a constitutional amendment alongside 83 of my Democratic colleagues to enshrine the right to abortion and contraception in the California state constitution. And with your help, we delivered a landslide victory for Proposition 1 this past November. You know, my fight to protect reproductive rights started in the 80s when I managed women's health clinics in San Diego and right here in Los Angeles. Many of the women who came to our clinics had traveled hundreds of miles, often at great cost. Over the years, I saw firsthand the benefits of access to care, and I saw firsthand what happens when it's cut off. I will never forget those stories. I will never forget the women. I will never forget their struggles. It strengthened my resolve, and it continues to push my work today. The fight for economic opportunity is also personal for me. I know what it's like for families who have to choose between putting food on the table or going to the doctor. Growing up in rural southwestern Virginia, my family struggled to make ends meet. My mother was a seamstress, my father was a coal miner, and no matter how hard they worked, we just barely could get by. Neither had a union to look after their best interest, and it is one of the reasons that I stand with labor, I stand with unions, and I stand with you today. My home didn't have running water, and many mornings my sister and I had to go down to the nearby spring with our buckets. Those early days taught me not to take the basics for granted: a roof over my head, access to drinkable water, and a chance to make a living. Now, a lot of time has passed since then, but these core challenges remain for so many. It's why for years I've made it my mission to get more affordable housing funded and built. It's why I authored the Building Homes and Jobs Act in 2017 to providing ongoing money each year for affordable housing. It's why I've championed budget funding for the California Dream for All program to help thousands of lower and middle-income Californians afford a down payment to buy their first house. And as we fight for affordability and opportunity for Californians, we will also continue to fight for inclusivity. As a young person, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make a better life for myself. I was gay, I was poor, and I lived in Appalachia. It really felt like the cards were stacked against me. Through a little luck, a lot of support, and some hard work, I was able to get a college degree and then move to San Diego to provide family support for my twin sister and her son while she served in the United States Navy. In California, I was able to create a stable, loving home with my spouse, Jennifer, without fear for our safety. Now, this is something everyone deserves, and it's why the Senate Democrats continue to fight for the rights of all Californians. We're fighting for farm workers who feed our nation to have the right to unionize, to receive dignity and respect in their workplace. We're fighting for youth to get the gender-affirming care that they need. We're fighting for a state where all people can feel accepted and respected, regardless of their religion, race, or who they love. Now, I'm sharing some of my story and struggles with you so you know why I fight for you and why I fight with you. Our stories unite us. Our stories inspire us, as does our work. My colleagues in the legislature have stories that inspire their work, as do you. You each have a unique story and values that you bring to our work and this fight. That is our bond. That is our collective power that so many have fought to protect. That we will fight to protect, and that will drive our success as Democrats. Thank you.